Now I'm just on a path to world champion. You know, I've made the money, I've knocked people out, I've earned the respect, I've been on the covers of magazines, I've created records and history and one knockout of the year. So now
it's not how old you are, it's how old you feel.
I don't feel what the word old, I don't feel that.
No. Well, you're smart going into the new wave.
No, it's always the old wave, it's always this.
Yeah.
I could do all this stuff and not have this.
After several months of anticipation, boxing legend Mike Tyson will step back into the ring for his first official pro bout in more than 2 decades when he squares off in an 8-round contest against social media star Jake Paul this weekend for an event that will be held at Atant Stadium in Arlington, Texas. One of the final sets of videos released by Most Valuable Promotions has compared both fighters, their build-ups, their boxing styles, their advantages and disadvantages, and most importantly, their chances of winning ahead of the fight on Friday night.
It would be the biggest moment in all of boxing history on Friday night when I put this man to sleep. So that is pretty dope.
He dreams a lot. This is not gonna come true, young.
An unbiased look at the recently released video shows the fighter who has the higher chance of winning. However, as for boxing fans, many are torn in between the lines of youth and experience. Tyson, as controversial as he is legendary, has seen a softening of his image in recent years as he overcame his addiction to illegal substances to tell his story as a cautionary tale in sports. The American public always enjoys a comeback story, and there was something wholesome about the youngster that came from a very turbulent background to find a level of peace in his life as an elder statesman of the boxing game.
Dreams a lot. This is not gonna come true, young man.
Hey man, I respect your opinion, but it's just my time. The universe know it, the gods know it, I know it, and you're gonna know it.
Perhaps that's why the public embraced his comeback to the ring for an exhibition fight against fellow legend Roy Jones Jr. under the Triller banner in 2020. That's one of the stark differences between the contest 4 years ago and the bout that will be held on Netflix this weekend. The 8-round contest against Paul will be an officially sanctioned pro fight. And with the fight officially sanctioned as a professional bout, fans and analysts alike are asking, can the 27-year-old Jake Paul withstand the intensity of a former heavyweight champion? Or will Tyson, now 58, show that he still has his legendary power?
What the am I thinking of? I'm tougher than I believe I was. Because actually, when I agreed to this fight and I started training, I said, what the am I thinking of?
Mike Tyson's name is synonymous with boxing greatness. Known for his unmatched ferocity and devastating knockout power, Tyson carved out a legendary career with a record of 50 wins, 6 losses, and 44 knockouts. His journey to fame began at age 20 when he became the youngest heavyweight champion in boxing history. With his powerful build, lightning-quick punches, and his signature peekaboo style, Tyson dominated the heavyweight division for years, and he is remembered as one of the most formidable fighters to ever step into the ring.
Has ever been down in a professional fight.
And he's down again.
Going to the body. A great uppercut. And that beautiful right uppercut caught him.
While Tyson hasn't fought professionally in nearly 2 decades, his recent exhibition match against Roy Jones Jr. in 2020 showed glimpses of his enduring power and agility. Though the upcoming fight with Jake Paul was initially scheduled for July, it was delayed after Tyson reportedly lost consciousness on a flight. Now, Tyson is fully recovered and eager to prove he's still a force to be reckoned with. Many believe that Tyson's experience, coupled with his well-documented commitment to training, will allow him to outmaneuver and outclass his much younger opponent. For Tyson, this fight isn't just a spectacle. It's a testament to his legacy, and a statement that even at 58, he remains one of the all-time greats.
I finished the process. The fight's the party. All the hard work is done. Still, family's everything. My kids, to my children, nobody. But that night, they're gonna find out their father's very special.
Jake Paul's rise from YouTube personality to professional boxer has been one of the most polarizing stories in modern sports. The 27-year-old has amassed a record of 10 wins and just 1 loss with 7 knockouts to his name. Realistically, Jake Paul isn't exactly the guy anyone expects to become a boxer. The former Disney child actor gained popularity on social media by creating videos targeting teenagers. Jake Paul's first boxing fight resulted from the success generated by the influencer boxing card that YouTubers KSI, Olajide Olatunji, and Joe Weller headlined. KSI and Joe Weller opened Pandora's box of influencer boxing as it showed successful boxing cards could be created with famous figures with large followings regardless of their limited boxing experience. Jake's first opponent was an exhibition match against KSI's younger brother, Deji, and he secured a technical knockout in the 5th. That win apparently spurred something in him, as he's dedicated himself to boxing ever since.
Singing the hymns, he's trying to get
Unlike other influencer boxers, who have mostly stuck to fighting other influencers, Jake figured out he could generate more notoriety by fighting athletes from non-boxing backgrounds. His first victim was former NBA player Nate Robinson, and he's gone on to defeat some big-name mixed martial arts fighters like Anderson Silva, Ben Askren, Tyron Woodley, and Nate Diaz. Jake Paul is no longer just an influencer boxer. The improvements he's made over the years, and the fact he lost via split decision against Tommy Fury, who comes from boxing royalty, shows he's taking his career as a boxer seriously. Though Paul's opponents have mostly been former Ultimate Fighting Championship fighters and lesser-known pro boxers, he has proven his dedication to the sport through rigorous training and undeniable skill improvements. Paul's sole career loss came at the hands of Tommy Fury, brother of heavyweight champion Tyson Fury, but this setback only intensified his training.
And land the big shot. I don't disagree with what you're saying, but we need to see a separation. And that's what we may be seeing now. We need to see a separation between these guys. What's Paul?
Under the guidance of top-tier coaches, Paul has refined his technique, enhanced his power, and sharpened his footwork, silencing critics who once saw him as merely a social media star dabbling in boxing. He's known for his resilience and ability to push through challenging fights, often surprising spectators with his mental toughness and willingness to face adversity. With a significant social media following and a brash persona, Paul has not only brought a new audience to boxing, but has also revived interest among younger fans. This bout with Mike Tyson will be his biggest test yet, and the stakes couldn't be higher as he faces a fighter whose career paved the way for boxing's current popularity.
They're gonna find out their father's very special. I don't say take me for granted because they talk a lot of mess to me that nobody else would. So tonight the fight, they're gonna realize they're gonna watch it next time they talk crap to me. I love you very much. I can't wait till you come.
The stakes in this fight extend far beyond the records. For Mike Tyson, it's a chance to showcase his enduring talent and strength. A win against Paul would solidify his legacy even in his later years, while a loss might cast doubt on the viability of fighters returning to the sport at an advanced age. For Jake Paul, this fight is a defining moment. A victory over a boxing legend could silence his critics once and for all and open doors to even more high-profile matchups. But a loss could validate doubts about his legitimacy as a pro boxer, especially against fighters with proven track records.
I can't wait till you come. I'm changing it up real quick. All I can say is thank you, God. Tune in on November 15th. You won't be disappointed.
Both fighters have been in intense training camps to prepare for this highly publicized bout. The video released by Most Valuable Promotions showed how Tyson's workouts have focused on regaining his power, speed, and endurance. Known for his rigorous approach to conditioning, Tyson has incorporated both old school and modern techniques to prepare for the fight. His training videos, which have gone viral online, reveal that his signature power punches are still very much intact. Paul's camp, led by experienced trainers, has focused on simulating Tyson's fighting style. With specialized sparring partners mimicking Tyson's moves, Paul's team has prepared him to counter Tyson's renowned aggression. Paul's training includes agility drills, intense cardiovascular workouts, and technical sparring sessions, all of which have sharpened his skill set and prepared him for Tyson's powerful punches. Nothing better describes the fight than the fact that it's a battle of experience versus youth. Tyson's wealth of experience and boxing IQ could give him a strategic edge, while Paul's youth, speed, and stamina make him a formidable opponent. Both parties will be tested to their very limits, but that doesn't take away the fact that the fight could be over early.
Plain and simple.
Okay, for next week, we'll see. I think he thinks this is going to be a very easy night. It's not going to be an easy night.
Why does Mike Tyson win?
For Iron Mike Tyson, while his power and skills stand out, the areas more affected by his old age, like his chin, athleticism, and tenacity, are areas he's been working on. Tyson's training has included endurance exercises to counteract age-related challenges, while Paul's youth and fitness regimen could work in his favor if the bout goes into the later rounds. Also, both fighters have agreed to being scared ahead of their fight night. Hence, there's a mental aspect of the fight that shouldn't be casualized. Tyson's history of high-pressure fights and Paul's confidence and resilience in the face of criticism will both be tested in this intense matchup. Both fighters are motivated by different goals. Tyson by his enduring legacy, and Paul by his desire to cement himself as a legitimate boxer.
This fight.
Because I'm Mike Tyson.
You know, the gods have showed this to me. I'm gonna be faster, stronger. He's not gonna know where I'm coming from, and I'm
great imagination.
Though Tyson seems to have the more legitimate goal, Jake Paul's world championship dreams may just come alive after this fight. The streaming platform Netflix will host the fight, which was originally scheduled for July before it was postponed due to the former heavyweight champion suffering from a stomach ulcer. The last time Iron Mike had a pro match in 2003, his explosive and dynamic career throughout the previous almost 20 years concluded with a very flat finish, as the referee stopped the bout in the 6th round after Mike hit the canvas after a series of punches from the undistinguished Kevin McBride. At 58, Tyson isn't going to rejuvenate his boxing career, but he is reportedly set to make $20 million for the bout, which gives him a very rare second chance at financial security. Infamously, Tyson was exploited for millions of dollars by shady promoter Don King. That, along with very furiously spending, saw him squander a few $100 million earned from a career that saw him become the youngest heavyweight champion in history when he knocked out Trevor Berbick in the 2nd round at the age of just 20.
You see the light left, instead he goes to the body downstairs, catches him with the right hand of all time. Bangs the body, wow, with that uppercut is Tyson. Catches him with the right left hook, and he goes down! He goes down, he should be able to get up from this.
Within the past several years, Tyson found other work in film and television, becoming somewhat of a pop culture icon, as sports fans could fondly reflect on the accomplishments of his career rather than the turbulent circumstances of his life. Of course, with a renewed level of popularity, he's also able to work the autograph circuit, which has become a very lucrative gig for stars of the past in sports and the entertainment business. While Mike Tyson will use this Netflix showdown to get a hefty payday from the sport long after it should have been realistically possible or expected, Jake Paul seems to be using this contest to try to spark interest in his boxing exploits again to attempt to continue the paydays from the sport. Being a social media star and someone that played the role of the villain to initially generate interest, it's no surprise that Jake Paul used sideshow tactics to get noticed, as viewers tuned into circus fights more to see him lose more than anything else.
It's more for me and to prove to young kids what is possible when you really set your mind to something, and that's more so what I'm focused on. So it's definitely not as exciting.
Make no mistake about it, a prize fight is just as much the entertainment business as it is the fight business. And in some ways, the total at the box office is all that matters. It's not a new concept in boxing either. Tyson himself drew top dollar as the perceived wild man of boxing in the 90s, especially after he infamously chomped on a piece of Evander Holyfield's ear during this 1997 rematch, causing a DQ and a melee in the ring. Floyd Mayweather made a career of being the bad guy, and carefully picked his opponents throughout most of his career to make sure he had the best chance possible to keep his undefeated streak intact.
The left hook. Right here, he went to the body, came back overhook with the left hook again, uppercut. Now he's going to come with a straight right. That was enough to put the fight out of commission.
Again, the biggest selling point for the villain is that the audience is willing to pay to see them lose. And once that loss happens, there will be diminished returns. For example, Adrian Bronner tried to be a dollar store version of Floyd's heel persona to attempt to replicate his success, but a few key losses to the upper tier of the welterweight division hindered Brawner's profile considerable.
But a referee had to get in and make sure Perry was okay. And it was the right call.
Honestly, most people are done in the second round after the damage that he took.
Yeah.
He lost a unanimous decision to the mostly unknown Blair Cobbs this past June, and it went under the radar of most sports news. In a similar fashion, Jake Paul finds himself at somewhat of a crossroads in his athletic endeavors, as every fight he had from the time that he started to pursue boxing in 2020 had a novelty aspect, and that was only going to be a draw for so long until the audience wouldn't be willing to pay to see the sideshow opponents.
I'm truly going to show the world that I outboxed Mike Tyson.
I'm ready. Let's go.
So Paul had to move up to at least decent competition before the interest in his boxing career dwindled. He knocked out basketball player Nate Robinson, and the crowd was willing to watch the circus for the entertainment value. He knocked out the bloated Ben Askren, a former mixed martial arts fighter that was there just for the payday since he couldn't be competitive in the UFC anymore. He beat an aging Tryon Woodley twice, but it's more or less agreed upon that Woodley was completely past his prime. The same could be said for his decision win over former UFC middleweight king Anderson Silva. Every fight had a novelty to it that gave an inherent advantage to Paul, which is wise on his part to try to leech as much money from the carnival fights as he could. But as mentioned, the novelty fights have a limited draw, so he finally took a fight against an actual pro boxer, Tommy Fury. Fury's only claim to fame was that he's the younger brother of undisputed heavyweight champion Tyson Fury.
But a referee had to get in and make sure Perry was okay. And it was the right call.
Honestly, most people are done in the second round after the damage that he took.
Yeah.
Tommy had less than 10 pro bouts against competition that nobody had ever heard of before he stepped into the ring with Paul, who took the fight more because of the associations with the name Fury than anything else. Tommy Fury won an 8-round split decision, and in many ways, the bloom was off the rose, so to speak, on the boxing career of Jake Paul. He lost, and the defeat was at the hands of a mediocre pro fighter, not anyone with any name value in the sport beyond sharing a last name with the heavyweight champion. He went back to the mixed martial arts formula when he beat an older Nate Diaz before he defeated the completely unknown Andre August and then Ryan Borland. He beat former mixed martial arts fighter Mike Perry earlier this year, but Perry's lack of name value, especially compared to his other opponents that were known from mixed martial arts, didn't capture much hype before the fight. Make no mistake about it, even at 58, Mike Tyson is the draw for this fight at Cowboy Stadium. Jake Paul isn't drawing that type of crowd with Andre August or Mike Perry. The selling point is Tyson back in the ring for a pro fight, nothing else, as the draw to see Jake Paul lose is minimal since he already lost to Tommy Fury last year. However, the promotion that Paul can bring to the fight is his value to the scenario. As for the winner, if Mike is just happy to make $20 million and wants to get through the fight without getting injured, it's very possible that Jake Paul coasts to an underwhelming decision victory.
Do you think you'd be fighting again at age 57?
Hey, listen, it was written. That's all I know is written. Millions of years before my bloodline was existing. It's written.
That said, as much as this is still a total novelty fight because Paul is less than half of the age of the former heavyweight champion, it could still be a fun spectacle. Obviously, if Jake Paul loses to someone twice his age, it's difficult to imagine that his boxing career could continue to be lucrative or taken seriously in any fashion, but given the major cash that he's going to make for the bout, the result might be secondary for him. Tyson is now 58, and while he probably still packs lots of power in his punches, his ability to take punches at his age is highly questionable. A fighter's chin is one of the first things to be impacted by age, and the outcome of the fight will likely come down to how well Tyson can take a punch.
What do you think?
I think you look in pretty good shape. You've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah,
I wonder how you feel now compared to when you were fighting.
I feel I don't have to call people bad names. I feel really happy.
it'll be a good thing.
Paul has proven how hard he hits, with most of his wins coming via knockout. So Tyson might be biting more than he can chew at this point in his life, as many experts have pointed out. Fortunately for him, his legacy will remain intact regardless of the fight's outcome. Odds makers have Paul as a -360 favorite, which many boxing experts will agree with. Jake Paul is still in his prime and improving with each fight he takes. Attant Stadium in Arlington, Texas, one of the most celebrated sports venues in the country, has hosted some of the biggest sports events, including NFL games and high-profile boxing matches. With a seating capacity of 80,000, the stadium is expected to fill with boxing enthusiasts, Jake Paul fans, and loyal supporters of Mike Tyson. And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.